Is this thing on?
Bonnie, who used to be a former sex worker and now hosts the podcast Dumb Blonde.
Most little girls grow up wanting to be doctors and lawyers and shit. And I was like, I want to be super hot, make a lot of fucking money, and be a rock star's wife. That was my goal as a child. And here we are.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
I'm so happy to have you guys on the podcast. So listen, for the month of October, we are doing a murder mystery series and we are bringing on special guests. And Mimi and I put our heads together and we were like, who would be a perfect guest to have in this series? And Lauren the Mortician, baby. Realizing that it was a dead body when you were 5 or 6 years old, you know, have you seen spirits? Do you see spirits, or you're just around dead people? Like, have you ever had like a haunted, spooky situation happen? I would love to hear.
Okay.
One.
So, I kind of went through this time in my life where I started realizing that people are given the choice to follow their bodies after they die. Your spirits. I'm a very big believer in that. And I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and I've felt it myself.
Mimi's face right now.
God. Yeah, you're not ready for this one.
I don't think I am.
Okay. So I picked up a gentleman. He died of cancer. And so it was kind of a long time coming. They had come in and pre-planned. And so I knew his wife ahead of time. Very nice lady. And he passed in the very early morning hours. I went out to the house. I do my thing, and then I bring him back to the funeral home. And the minute that I bring him into the funeral home, his wishes were for cremation. So then I roll him off into a special room where we prepare people for cremation. And I go into the building to find his file and pull it so that the office gal can just kind of get everything ready for me for the next day. So when I meet with the family, we finalize everything. And I walk in the office and the clock is dead above my desk. And I thought, oh, well, that's kind of weird. So I walked into the main office and that clock was dead. And then I walked into the chapel and that big ass clock was dead.
Because in afterlife, there's no time.
And then I walked into the arrangement room. I ended up walking through the whole fucking building and ended up finding out that every single clock, and they're all run on AA batteries, AAA batteries, every single one of them was dead. That has never happened, has never happened again. And once I realized that every single clock in the entire building was dead, I walked back into the back room and I just felt this super heavy feeling. And I felt like I was being watched, and I got nervous. And I left because I had done what I needed to do and it was time for me to leave. So I left and I came back the next morning. You know, I get to go home, get a couple hours of sleep, and I come back and the wife meets me the next morning. We sit down for the arrangements, and I didn't tell her about the clocks because I didn't want to scare her or make her feel uncomfortable. And you know what? For all I knew, it could have been a coincidence.
Right.
Because when those weird things happen to you, you try to talk yourself out of them, that it didn't, all the batteries were dead because we put them all in at the same time, even though I know really good excuse. Even though I know we didn't, because they die at random times. So we're meeting and I'm signing the paperwork, and she says, I got to tell you something. And I said, well, what's wrong? And she said, when you left my house, and I went back inside my house.
Hey, what's up, guys? If you want to see the rest of this episode, and I know you're going to want to see the rest of this episode, head on over to our Patreon at www.dumbblondeunrated.com. See you there.